Well, Colorado now in the spotlight. As expected, former Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper announced that he is running for president. He joins an already pretty crowded ring of Democratic contenders who have also said they too are going to run for president. Political specialist Sean Boyd joins us live tonight near Civic Center Park. And Sean, the presidential hopeful is holding a kickoff celebration this Thursday.
Hey, Karen, he is squeezing all the media he can get out of this announcement, releasing a video today, then doing national media. We'll get an interview tomorrow, and then the event here at the park with supporters on Thursday. As he notes, he doesn't have nearly the money or name recognition of other candidates. What he does have, he says, is an ability to make things happen.
I'm John Hickenlooper. I'm running for president because we're facing a crisis that threatens everything we stand for.
That crisis, Hickenlooper says, is one of division, unlike anything the country has seen since the Civil War. And that, he says, is why he should be president.
I've proven again and again I can bring people together to produce the progressive change Washington has failed to deliver.
Hickenlooper is counting on his brand as a pragmatic progressive to set him apart in a field of largely far-left liberals. He points to his expansion of Medicaid, passage of gun control laws, and new rules limiting methane emissions as some of his wins. But he's also the guy who drank fracking fluid to show it's safe, hardly endearing him to environmentalists. Still, his quirky nature has overall worked to his advantage.
As a skinny kid with Coke bottle glasses and a funny last name, I've stood up to my fair share of bullies. Standing tall when it matters is one of the things that really drives me.
While he's barely registering in polls so far, he hasn't run ads yet either, and his ads some of the best. Feeding parking meters, jumping out of a plane, showering fully clothed. He knows how to get attention. Whether it translates into votes remains to be seen.
Join me, and we'll repair the damage done to our country and be stronger than ever.
Another big question is, can an extreme moderate, as Hickenlooper describes himself, fire up the base, especially in such a crowded primary? Hickenlooper is the 14th Democrat to get in. Colorado's U.S. Senator Michael Bennet also considering a bid. Our partner KOA Radio asked Hickenlooper about a Bennet bid, and he said the more candidates, the better. I'm not sure about that. Hickenlooper's event here at the park, 5 p.m. on Thursday. Live in Denver, Sean Boyd covering Colorado First.
All right, Sean, thank you.